I'm just gonna let it rip.
Okay. All right.
Oh man, it's not natural now.
All right. Are you sitting back like that?
I don't know, man. I'm moving around. You know what I mean?
You're just trying to
Moving.
get comfortable.
Yeah, this is what it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah. So let me ask you this question, see if we can kind of just get the floodgates open.
Okay.
When did you realize that you wanted to grow?
Like when I legitimately felt left behind that night, that we all got together for the first time. Legitimately felt like almost bad about myself in a way. You know, it was weird. Like I didn't beat myself up over it, but it brought me to the realization of like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Because I used to feel like it was okay to be like you were supposed to be content. You know, I'm like, why should you care about things? You know what I mean? But like the second I got around people who cared about stuff like you and Josh were, and having like these intense conversations, I felt. Oh, we talk about imposter syndrome, dude. I felt so out of place in that moment. Like when you and Josh first started hitting each other with like business perspectives or goals or aspirations, and I was just kind of sitting there with nothing to offer, and I felt bad about it in the sense of like, man, this is not what you should bring to the table in a conversation like this. Is nothing. You know what I mean? So that's when I felt it. Did you? I mean, did you have like a? So I know kind of when you changed your perspective on stuff, but do you feel like it has grown since like the a start of it? Do you feel like the desire to grow is even like tenfold now, even though you've made so many leaps and bounds?
Yeah. I would say that the biggest thing is I want to just acquire so much knowledge.
Mm,
And I think partly is because we meet people from all walks of life,
yeah.
and every person's journey is unique. So it's like you want to, it could be a book, it could be a podcast. I hear something, and then it's like, okay, how can I apply that to my life to
Mm,
where, because we talk about all the time. It's like when we talk about something, it's from our own experience. So when I hear something valuable from a podcast or a book or something,
mm,
I then apply it to my life to see how it can impact me.
yeah.
So that if we happen to stumble in that type of experience, we can then talk about it because we have the knowledge, we've applied it to our own life. It's just like it's almost like a constant desire to learn more,
Mm,
because I think we're in the process now where we're so creative
mm.
that we just want to continue to learn.
Yes, I 100% agree. I feel like it's a constant chase.
Hmm.
You know, and Mylett has mentioned that a few times where it's like you almost avoid that, right? Like avoid feeling like you're always chasing. But that's kind of what it feels like to me, where we have a hard time sometimes acknowledging when something good happens because we're already focused on what's next, right? Like we finish whatever kind of either preparation or whatever goes into the one thing that we are working on, that when that thing either goes well or, a proposal gets accepted or we get a gig somewhere or whatever, it's like we're already on to the next thing.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like the chase just continues. But to me, that's I love that feeling. And I know when we don't have it. And I think we always acknowledge it with each other. Like right now, it just feels like flat.
Hmm.
And we hate that feeling.
Yeah.
So like right now, especially right now, it's very exciting. And
Yeah.
it's like that hunger is so real, man. Because I'll tell you this. Today, I had a killer meditation.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the field?
Oh yeah. It was so good because like how I use like the time of day or a year a lot of times like with my surroundings to associate where we are in our business, and I kind of make that correlation. And today it was like the whole week really has been like, it's obviously still cold, right?
Hmm.
But like blue skies, like tons of sunshine, right? And with that, man, I can see like the trees that surround the field, the tops of them are all starting to get red. which is like they're starting to bud a little bit, right? And I'm like, man, like that dead season is over. And like we're not there yet, but we're turning the corner to like brighter, better days, like with spring.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's exactly where we're at.
Yeah.
Like we were got past that dead season, and now it's like we are full steam ahead on like what we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Finally. Like it feels like we've been waiting for it forever. We've been waiting for spring forever, it feels like, and we've been waiting for us to turn that corner forever because we've been working on this for 5 months.
Yeah.
Kind of in silence, right? So that's like it hit me today when I was out there, like, holy shit, like we're on like the brink of this turning the corner now. And it felt like I finally felt like really I finally had a lot of clarity about, wow, this is right here, and it's going to be special, and I can't wait for it to get going now.
Yeah.
Like it was a really, really good session out there today, and like
Yeah.
everything just kind of felt like serendipitous when I was out there.
Yeah, because for a while we would always have something to prepare for, something that we had on the horizon. And but this is also like purpose driven as well, because we also had to say, all right, we need to focus on this. We need to niche down.
Yeah.
And I think you asked me before, like, how did we actually start to create something like this?
Yeah.
And I want to say I think it was a conversation that you might have brought up, like, what if we created something like this? And it was almost like an epiphany.
Yeah.
Because it took me personally back when I was trying to grow, and I was in like a desperate need of change. And I reached out to Man Talks, and I met with a coach there to try to join their community. And just the amount of money that I would have to pay for it was just absurd. It was like $3,000.
Yeah.
And I was like,
That immediately turned you off.
yeah, because it's like it might be quality, but at the same time too, I have a family, and,
Right,
and,
yeah.
and then I feel guilty if I'm going to be paying that.
Right.
And so I just kind of turned the page. But in that time, we created a men's group as well with Josh, a little small knit community. Then we created the men's group in Cybulski. Even with the programs that we were doing, there always was that community focus.
Yeah.
Even though we weren't really necessarily thinking about it.
Right.
But everything we did, it was all around community. So then when we started to create it, it was almost like, oh my God, this is what we should have done a while ago.
Like from the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's just funny because I was like thinking about the other night, everything, like every step of the way that we went through, and the amount of programs we created that like customized for all these places, and it just never felt like we owned something. It felt like we were always catering versus owning it. And like for any entrepreneur out there, right, like that we're going to speak to on this thing, that's going to be like one of the biggest things that I think we talk about is like, not obviously you have a customer that you have to appease, right? But like your target audience should be there for you. You know what I mean? Like they're there because you're there and because of what you offer and the things that you solve. And not trying to let it and make it fit their vision and their mold, right? Like they need to see it from your side of things and appreciate and respect that you're going to be able to deliver what they're looking for. We didn't have that at the start.
Right.
We were constantly like square peg, round hole the whole time. And then when it hit us, man, it was just like, that's what makes me so excited about it. It's like, this isn't another program.
Yeah.
This isn't like you got 8 weeks to get this in, or you got 12 weeks to get this in. This is like any minute of any day, it's yours.
Yeah.
And it's yours because we created it for you.
Yeah.
Like that's exciting to me.
And the biggest thing too about what we've done is that there have been many times when we could have quit. And
Dude, spot on.
when you go it alone, it's much easier to throw in the towel. You could say to yourself, all right, I tried, right? And then either no guilt or you're regretting it for a little while. And then if someone asks, you can come up with an excuse of why you quit, right?
Yeah.
But because we had you and I, because we have each other, It's much easier when one of us, or even when we had the issue with the grant,
Yeah.
we were able to share what we were feeling, the
Right.
frustration,
For
the
sure.
anger,
Yeah.
the disappointment.
Yep.
But at the same time, too, after we experienced and expressed that, we then were like, okay, where do we go from here?
Mm.
When you go it alone, you're basically saying, okay, I tried option A, I tried option B, neither of them worked. I'm going to quit. But because of the collective, because of the pursuit, because you're going to be with growth-minded people, you find a way to win.
Yeah.
So other people, if you share, hey, I ran into this issue, I ran into this hurdle, others may have, hey, you know what, did you try this?
Yeah.
Right? Did you offering other ideas?
Yeah.
And that's huge.
Oh yeah.
I mean, think about when we got together with Josh on Sunday and we were just having a great conversation. And what did we say to him? We're like, reach out to that guy.
Yeah.
Monday morning, he's like, reach out to him. Boom. A couple hours later, got a message.
Yeah. And that came from that group
Yeah.
and the trust in that group.
Right.
And it was, to go back a minute, they're easy to quit.
Yeah.
When it's just you, it's easy to quit. When A and B don't work, it's easy to quit. And and I don't know how you feel. A lot of times, man, when we the way we crafted our social media account and not what we put out, but what we see on our accounts, it's all intentional what we see, right? And you see a lot of people saying the same thing. A lot of the mentors that we have or the entrepreneurs that we follow, whoever it is, they always mention you got to do it when you don't want to do it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like it's so important. You have to do it when you don't want to do it. You have to do it when you don't want to do it. And I hear that all the time, and that's true. It's true. But the perspective I think that you and I can take now is yes, you have to do it when you don't want to do it. We work full-time jobs and then have this as a full-time job on top of it. We're up early in the morning, we go to bed late at night. We have kids, we coach sports. Like it doesn't stop, right? And we always joke like you can't out busy us a lot of times, right? You can't tell us you're too busy. We get it. But it's not about not doing it because you don't want to, right? Or doing it because you don't want to. It's about doing it when you are defeated.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you feel like you are hopeless almost and you still do it, that's power. That's like control over self that a lot of people don't have, right? Even the good people may not have, because we were in a spot that we could have thrown in the towel, yes. Like it was hard and all that, didn't work, yes. But like we were beaten down, we were sour, we were bitter, we were mad. Like we were all of these things for a lot of good reasons.
Yeah.
And then to still do it anyway. Like that's where I feel like people can learn a little wrinkle on that, right? Yes, again, you got to do it when you don't want to. But you also got to do it when you feel like you are beaten down and bitter and sour as well, because that's when like this stuff comes out, like the good, real good stuff comes out in those moments.
When you're bitter and sour too, it's because you've lost momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like at some points, we experienced this as well as we had a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we experienced where we didn't have any.
Yeah.
And that was tough. And I think when you lose that momentum, it's very defeating. And at that point, it's kind of just reevaluating me. What's one little step forward I could take?
Yeah.
Whether it be a post,
Right.
right? Or something that can just, you start to take small steps.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm trying to figure out a new path forward. I'm not quite sure where I'm going yet, but I know if I at least start to take these baby steps, I'm going to find my footing and I'll reignite that momentum.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we did. When we lost momentum, we first had to look at the experience of 2025 to be like, because you originally were like, it was a failure. And then I had to say to you, no, we learned a lot.
Yeah.
We learned about where not to go.
100%.
We learned about that's not something that we want to do anymore.
Yeah.
And we learned, okay, we really got to niche down. What do we want to do?
Exactly.
But then when we did that, we started saying no to other opportunities. We started saying, this is what we're focusing on because we see the vision here.
Yeah.
We know that this is going to help others and we can grow this. We see growth.
Yeah.
And then we also know that from here, it could also open other opportunities within our business as well.
Yeah. And you said it, like we said no, like already. So momentum is crazy. Like it's a real thing. We really believe that it's a real thing. And we finished the year off, I think, really gearing up for what's to come and the final push for the pursuit. So we felt like we had momentum. The site was essentially done. We've had a lot of outreaches and good conversations with other people regarding the pursuit. And then like January hit, in a matter of like 3 weeks, we had 3 business offers, and we only took one. Because we really evaluated each one and what would bring us value, but also what we wanted to do. You know what I mean? Like I think for the first time in our business, we asked ourselves that question: what do we want to do?
Yeah.
Because if those other 2 things came up last year, or in 2024, or in 23, we would have been like, yeah, it's a payday. Let's do it, right?
Yeah.
But now it was like, no, that doesn't fit our vision at all.
Right.
Or it was simply just like, maybe we could make it fit our vision, but we finally asked ourselves after a 20-minute conversation, after we got off a call of a proposal for a job, and it was like, why are we trying to convince ourselves that we want to do this when we don't?
Yeah.
There's conviction finally. I feel like that's the biggest turning point for us moving forward now.
Yeah.
Conviction, confidence, right? And then community. Like we have this thing now. We have people that we want to help out, that we feel like are really going to benefit from what we created. To me, that's just going to make our confidence grow more and our conviction grow more as well.
Yeah. You know what I really want to do more too, and obviously I think you would echo the same thing, is I want to share I want to share our story with others more. And when we talk to David Gibson, I mean, it's always refreshing talking to him.
God, he's so good, man.
Yeah.
He's just such a good dude.
But what I liked is he started sharing his story. And
after 13 years,
yeah,
just started sharing his story.
And what's awesome is that he didn't want to come across as like showboating.
Right.
He's trying to show that, hey, my journey could inspire someone else,
right,
to start either taking their own journey, or maybe they could take nuggets of gold from mine.
Right.
And like, as soon as he said that, instantly it was like a fire in me, where it's like, we got to start doing that more.
Yeah.
Where it's we typically will go to, say, like a library or something and talk about a specific topic.
Yep.
But I almost think like after our next speaking engagement, we line something up where it's, you come and talk to us, we're going to share our journey.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, because it's like our favorite word is like perspective lately. I feel like we use it all the time. We use it on the site a lot because it's so important. Like your perspective, it's unique to you, but I think it gives other people oh my God, like I've felt something similar to that, right? It gives them a little bit of comfort when your perspective slightly matches theirs or what they're going through. It was very interesting hearing him say that today. I'm like, man, after 13 years, like you have a lot of experiences, a lot of knowledge, and he always just wanted to make it about other people.
Yeah.
And that's how we saw it, right? And kudos to him for that, right? Because it could have been easy for him to talk about himself a long time ago. But I think he, even as someone as seasoned as him, is realizing that, no, like my story is unique enough to help other people.
Yeah, dude, because I think about Ed Milet's story, and I think about Ed Milet when he talks.
Yeah.
He's very good at storytelling.
Yeah.
But his story is his own journey. And every time that he talks about it, he brings a passion to it. But while he's doing that, he's talking about how he went from being very poor to working extremely hard to being very wealthy.
Right.
But along that road and that journey, he's sharing his own nuggets of gold that he is like, if you want to be successful and you want to make money or you want to grow you want to be happy, this is what you got to do. Like,
right.
You can take some of my blueprint and start applying it to your life.
Right.
Because a lot of times, I mean, we're in the social media age where everybody wants it very quickly. The truth about a fulfilling life and the truth about having passion and purpose is it's really hard. And if you are going to go after it with everything you got, you have to understand it may be a daily grind. And sometimes that grind might just be something small, but others it's pushing through that fear thing where it's like, hey, you know what? I do want to have some sleep. I'm not gonna take a nap. I'm gonna get up when my alarm goes off. I'm gonna get a workout in. I'm gonna start the day off right, and I'm gonna keep going. It's so hard nowadays. That's why the entrepreneurial journey is unique, because it is extremely hard.
It is extremely hard, man. And the one thing I want, like really out of the pursuit and what we've built, is I want people to realize that it is hard, but you can fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like you can do it. And I want people who don't think they can to realize they can. Like I want people who are skeptical to come onto the site.
Yeah.
Right? And I want them to be like, no, this personal development, personal growth world is a load of shit. You know what I mean? It's a bunch of woo-woo and that's it. Like it's a bunch of words with no action. It's like, all right, man, come on in.
Yeah.
Come on in. You know what I mean? Like come see what people like us like to talk about. You know what I mean? And how it's not what a lot of times maybe it's perceived to be, which is so intense and so, yes, it's a grind, but like everyone's got a scowl and they're always working. Like, like you see the reels where everyone's yelling at each other, but like, you gotta do this, but it's like, no, man, like it doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of work and it's hard and the conversations are intentional, but they're fun.
Yeah.
And it's addictive. And when you get around people who are like that, you want to instantly raise your game up, right?
Yeah.
Because
that's what you did with the men's group.
100%.
You had to reevaluate your standards.
And I had to get to a different level.
Yeah.
In order to stay where I wanted to be, I had to get to a different level. But that only happened because I was around other people. If I was not around other people, I would have stayed where I was, right? Or I would have let people who I was around other than you guys bring me down lower, right? To whatever level, who knows? But it's so important. But I want those skeptics in there because it's like once you realize what you're capable of, or once you realize that, oh my God, it's okay for me to have a passion. Like, oh wait, I can care about something. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, like that's you. Like that's been there the whole time. You just haven't uncovered it yet.
Yeah. And I actually, with personal growth, my initial thoughts around personal growth, I was a skeptic. I would
Really?
I remember the first time I actually started to dip my toe in the sand with personal growth. It was a Tony Robbins CD.
And a CD?
CD. Yeah.
My God.
And I put it in the car. It was 2 CDs too. I put it in the car. I just started listening to it. And I was like, not really vibing with what he was saying.
Okay. Do you recall what he was talking about, or they just recall that you weren't vibing?
I don't really recall what it was, but I remember there was something that he said that really like, oh, okay.
Like it was like one thing all of a sudden caught your attention?
It caught my attention and then it made me want to listen more. And so I remember I listened to both CDs and I kind of was like, all right, that was okay. But then I remember listening to it more. And I kept listening to it. I kept listening to it. I kept listening to it. And now this is before I really got into personal growth. This is kind of like when I started to kind of want to change.
Yeah.
And I remember when it finally dawned on me that I was like really starting to get into it, is when Val would come into the car and I would have Tony Robbins on. Like the CD would already be on. She's like, wow, you really are into this, huh? And I was like, he's great.
Yeah.
Because this was what he would do when I would listen to it, is instantly I would be in a better mood. That's what you can be. That's what surrounding yourself with the right people can do. This was Tony Robbins on a CD. And instantly my mood would be changed. And just listening to his, like we were saying, perspective, listening to his knowledge, the tools that he was talking about, I was just so interested in. And everything that he was saying was so uplifting. We tend to surround ourselves with, whether it be at work, can be negative. And what happens is you start to complain. Every meeting you have, people are complaining. I would start my day off with Tony Robbins being like, let's go, let's start. And it would just uplift me.
Mm-hmm.
So then my mood going into the gym or going wherever, I was in a good mood.
Mm-hmm.
And
Now, did you find that once you started to absorb a lot of what he was saying and even applying some of the things he was saying, was it easier for you to, for those people who were in a bad mood, was it easy for you to kind of put that wall up on them and not let them affect your mood and be able to still maintain the positive energy that you took in?
I think during that time, I don't think I was truly aware.
Yeah.
I knew like some negative people around me, like I could definitely, like, I mean,
Yeah.
everything that came out of this one dude's mouth at lunch was always negative. We'd
Yeah.
always call him negative.
Yeah.
But I don't think I knew the gravity of it until I really focused on personal growth
Yeah. Yeah.
and really began to understand how powerful your mind is.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're constantly thinking about the negative, it's powerful and it could defeat you.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I have a optimistic viewpoint on life.
Yep.
Life happens for you, not to you.
Yeah.
A lot of people will say life happens to me. And when you have that outlook on life, you forget to acknowledge all the good in it. And with the pursuit, man, we are so blessed to just have the lives that we have right now. But we are blissfully dissatisfied.
Mm-hmm.
We want more. And it comes from, we want to help so many people.
Yeah.
Just have that same fire that we do.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean they have to start their own business,
Mm-hmm.
but we want them to, hey, if they're in an unsatisfied relationship or marriage, we can help you take steps to maybe reignite the flame, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you're not satisfied with your health. You don't have to be so overwhelmed with, oh, I got to go to the gym for 5 days a week. I have to do all this. It's like, just start one thing at a time. Prioritize what you want to prioritize. If it's going to the gym 2 days a week, do that.
Yeah.
If you want to eat a healthy breakfast, then lunch and dinner, you figure out in a couple weeks, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's just making it more manageable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's funny because I listened to Rachel Hollis this past week, and she had mentioned about like talking about bandwidth and everyone's bandwidth, and when you tell
Such a corporate term.
isn't it right?
Yeah.
But the way she explained it made perfect sense, where it was like, if you're telling someone that who wants to change, right, but they're giving you X, Y, and Z of why they can't, because I have I got the kids, I got whatever, I have a job, then I have to go home and do this, and legitimately their day is full, right? It legitimately is. She just talked about, well, your bandwidth is full, but if you truly want to change, then that means you have to eliminate something. You know what I mean? That means for whatever it is you're doing, you have to then find something to eliminate to do what you truly want to do then. And I thought that was so interesting because, in order for, I think, a lot of people, that change gets scary. Not maybe so much when you have to do something new, but when you have to get rid of an old habit. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, that's so interesting because everyone has their habits,
Yeah.
Everyone, I like to, at 8 o'clock, sit down on the couch and watch, catch up on my shows and have something to eat. Shit, so do we.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we would love to be able to do that. We had a conversation with Josh, I think it was, at the last men's group, where I was like, man, I miss reading for 10 minutes at night. You know what I mean? Like, I remember you talking about that at our first men's group in 2022.
Yeah.
How you read for 10 minutes every night. I know I don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure you don't for the most part now, because we finish up at 10 o'clock and go to bed now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you have to eliminate certain things.
Yeah.
Because your bandwidth is full. But you have to see what that trade is.
Yeah.
You
But
know what I
what's
mean?
even interesting about that is, because I miss reading, I've now incorporated, we call it habit stacking.
Yep,
I've
yep.
incorporated with my cup
have.
of coffee.
That's right.
So now in the morning,
That's
I'll
right.
read a page. And that's the thing, I'm just reading a page.
Yep.
But you know what I remember too? I forget who I was having a conversation with, but it got brought up with, it might have been at Theo's Wrestling. And I mentioned about I get up at 4 in the morning. And they're like, oh man, I can't do that. Or no, it was with a coworker. She's like, I don't know how you do that. She's like, I have to, I'll work out maybe after work, sometimes. And she's like, how do you do that? and I go, if I'm going to inconvenience anyone, it's going to be me.
Mm.
And if I'm going to steal from anybody's time, it's going to be my time. Because I'm not going to take away from the boys. I'm not going to take away from Val. So I will get up early because my standards are high. So that means I will set my alarm at 4 because I'll take away an hour of sleep from me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know if I'm going to inconvenience anyone, it's going to be me.
It's huge, man. People, I think, and
But you have to have that out. Like, again, and I don't mean to interrupt
no,
you,
please
but
go ahead, man.
it's all about raising your standards. Like when you, and people may think I'm crazy for that,
For sure.
because the easy thing is, okay, get more sleep. I'll work out maybe after work. I'll let my wife or husband make dinner. I'll let my wife or husband try to deal with the kids. I'll come home. They could be in a tizzy. You're already making coming home an inconvenience for the ones that you love.
Mm-hmm.
When you're trying to do something healthy for yourself, where we talk about it all the time, is self-care is not selfish. But I think it's also a fine line where it's like, okay, if you're going to do that, what is the cost? Is the cost that you're working out at after work, where you're coming home, your spouse is very, upset because they're trying to do dinner, trying to pick up, trying to take care of the kids. You may have to reevaluate, okay, now I should do it in the morning,
Yeah.
And
everyone's schedule is different. So
for sure.
you don't have to be getting up at 4 o'clock like you do, right? You don't have to be going to the gym at night like some people do. Whatever works for you. But I think prioritizing, understanding your bandwidth or whatever it is, right? But everyone's journey is going to be different in that sense, right? So and that's maybe the part of personal development that I don't say I don't like, but I don't identify with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when people say, you have to do this. You have to do it this way. This is the right way to do it. And maybe even early on, dude, maybe we were like that, right? Because although we believe in certain things, right? We made it seem like it was a must do. You have to. Like I remember our first freebie that we gave away was about a morning routine and how it starts the night before. And we made it seem like you have to do this in order to put your day on the track for success, right? And maybe that's just not the way people operate. Listening to some people who, are mentors, right? The first thing they do is, okay, I'm starting my morning off with a full glass of water, a cup of coffee, and then I'm going to journal. And then I'm going to get my kids ready. And you know what I mean? And then I'm going to go to the gym after that. Perfect. But that works for you, right?
Right.
I never want to lose sight of encouraging somebody that whatever works for you is good. Doesn't mean you can't reevaluate it.
Mm-hmm.
But I never want to make them feel like this is the only way. I feel like it's unproductive. I feel like can be intimidating, and I feel like it can be off-putting as well.
Yeah.
There's definitely more than one way to do things, and I just never ever want anyone who joins our site to feel like our perspective is. We always say it. We don't have answers. We have perspective on things, right?
Yeah.
So like our perspective is not answers.
Yeah.
Our perspective is just what works for us. Let's talk about what works for you.
Right. And I mean, that's what I like as well, is we don't come across saying that we know everything.
Mm-hmm.
We'll share what we've learned, but we're also very open to, hey, this is what's worked for us.
Yeah.
What is your goal, right?
Yep.
Because if their goal is to change a career,
Yeah.
We're going to ask, okay, what are you doing to make that come to fruition?
Yeah.
Because then that allows us to kind of peel back the layers to, okay, are you really doing stuff to change career paths?
Yeah. And what that leads to is accountability.
Yeah.
Right? The community piece is going to be huge because I think it's going to create accountability. People oftentimes maybe don't like accountability. This is my thought on it, that people don't like accountability because they feel like a lot of times it comes in a version of an attack. Right? If you're trying to hold me accountable, I'm interpreting it as an attack. You're attacking me. And that's not the case. And I feel like a lot of times people aren't the best at taking constructive criticism or hearing from other people that you're not doing what you said you were going to do, or, you're doing it this way. Have you tried about maybe doing it this way?
Yeah.
Right? People aren't the best at that because they feel like their way is the right way a lot of times. So the accountability piece can be tough, but I think we've learned over time, you need that.
Oh, yeah.
We were told today how lucky we are to have one another.
Yeah.
And it's very true because we are. Because we hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
And we surround ourselves with people who hold us accountable and who we can hold accountable. And there's never anything personal behind it.
Right.
There's never anything malicious behind it. Inside of the community that we're building, we want accountability to be present. We want honesty and realness to be present. We want it to be shown in a supportive manner, right?
Yeah.
There's a right way to do it a lot of times. It's all about the delivery, if you will.
Yeah.
Right? But like the bottom line is our intentions and the intentions of everybody that we hope join this site is going to be, we want what's best for you.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And I think that's the accountability piece has to be shown in that light.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
So let's close it out with this. All right. If we can do this in June or July, right? And we're 3, 4, 5 months into this thing, right? What are you hoping for with the pursuit?
I'm hoping that we have a good membership population.
Mm-hmm.
If I could throw out numbers, maybe about upwards of 20,
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm thinking like
Yeah.
around 50 if we can
Yeah.
be five
I
months
mean,
in here.
that
right?
would be nice,
Be beautiful.
right? That would be
Right.
nice. But I think what that would do for us, I feel like it would be continuous creative ways of how we can continue to grow it.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you had a great idea about doing something in July where it's like a 5K.
Mhm.
I like that idea because it's something healthy
Mm-hmm.
for people to do. It gets the pursuit out there, but we also thought about including entrepreneurs as well to get their name out.
Mhm.
Because again, our mission has always been to help others.
Mm-hmm.
So we're focusing on getting healthy, right? We're bringing families together, which is huge. We know the power of play. We know the power of support, competition, but at the same time too, we're also there with entrepreneurs that can benefit as well, talking about what they do in their business. What about you? If you fast forward to say July, what are you envisioning for the pursuit, or what are you hoping for?
Validation.
Interesting.
Feel it. Man, I feel like I have been, and I speak for myself here. I'm going to use I because I don't want to speak for you. I feel like I have been desperate in ways for validation when it comes to our business. Desperate for it.
That resonates with me.
Like I don't think people understand how hard it is to gain any recognition when you build something from the ground up. I don't think people really understand that. So when we try to get engagement on things, when we create all these programs, when we did all the things we've done for the last 3 years, 4 years, some things work, some things don't. But I've never felt truly validated. With this is a culmination almost of everything that we've done. And it's us. It's going to be us. We're going to bring us on this thing, man. We're going to be like raw and real on this thing. And I can't wait for it, dude. But it's like, man, like when I can look at it and I can be like, this is working. And I can go, we fucking did it. Like we finally found our footing and feel validation. And I can truly feel like a successful entrepreneur in a way. And I can feel like what we're doing has real value by simply just being ourselves in this thing. That's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Just to piggyback off that, do you feel when it's a success and when we're growing the pursuit, do you feel other opportunities will come our way?
I don't think it's any question. I truly believe this year is going to be a very different year for us.
Feels different.
It just feels different.
I feel like we're more serious.
I just feel like we have a better understanding of who the fuck we are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really do. Like I feel like we understand who we are and what we want. And I think with everything being in our control, I feel like it's almost like there's a little bit of pressure off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like before it was just like a lot of times I felt not pressure, maybe that's not the right word, but kind of like that. Now it just feels like there's going to be execution throughout. I am confident on the execution throughout, no matter what comes our way. But I feel like it's just going to be different this year. This is the turning point for us for this year. I truly believe that, and I'm excited for it now, man. I'm just ready. Like bring it on. Whatever you got, bring it on. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna figure it out. We got it. Like we got it. I really feel that way.
Yeah.
So
Buckle up.
that's it,
Give it a
man.
ride.
Let's fucking do it.